Oh my goodness. So much confidence. My life, I literally was ready to give up. Who would want to go on?
Lisa Marie, how did you find Carnivore?
How I found Carnivore was actually through Michaela Peterson. I started actually watching her and her father during the pandemic there. And I found them very fascinating. I didn't have any health issues at that time, none whatsoever that I knew of, and continued watching them. I found them very interesting, just their approach in life. And Michaela, how she overcame so many health issues with all meat based diet, and actually even stricter than that, the Lion diet and ruminant meats. I just found her very fascinating. And then going forward at work, I had to get a vaccination, and 2021 came along, and getting that vaccination. The first one was fine, but due to my work, we had to have three. I got the second vaccination that I had to get at this time. And lo and behold, after that, I felt like I had the flu for 2 weeks, and I was completely, it was like a bus hit me, which I was expecting that because this vaccine was known that you were going to have a little bit of side effects afterwards. They never left. The whole left side of my body went numb. Then it gravitated over to the right side, and the only thing that wasn't hurting was my right leg. And unbelievable. And my mom at the time, because I was in a posting with my husband, said, it's probably stress. I know of people that their left side is gone, and she probably was just trying to calm me at the same time calm herself. And she said it probably is stress because I have the type of personality that seeing people go through hard times, it breaks my heart. And it was a really tough time in 2021. And so I honestly thought it was stress myself. And my husband decided we're gonna. Well, he retired. We moved back home on our last posting, and thought that would be the solution. Moved home, and it got worse and worse. And I Googled because I have these little bumps on the bottom of my feet. And for whatever reason, intuition told me there's something wrong there. And I had all doctors looking at the bottom of my feet, which was a little bit embarrassing now that I look back. But it was because I Googled this, and it said it's connected to Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. There's 13 types. And my father had passed of a massive heart attack. No one knew why. And one of them is a vascular, which you only live to 47ish if you're lucky. And me being 37 at the time, I thought, oh my goodness, if that's how dad died, then this could be what's wrong with me. And no one would listen. No one would pay attention. Went to the rheumatologist. He didn't want to do the testing, but bless my doctor's heart, he did all the testing, and it is thorough. And lo and behold, I do have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but it's the hypermobile type. So all of my ligaments and everything is loose, so I have to be very careful. I went to physio, and lo and behold, they said that I'm too fragile for even them because my knees started to go. So with carnivore, so back to carnivore. With this happening, I thought, well, it only makes sense that that would be the proper diet. And I looked into Michaela. That led to Dr. Peterson. I looked back at them, and then dove more into it. Dr. Barrett. That was my saving grace, I have to say. He has a video about everything, and that sold me. I thought I have to start this. And lo and behold, like it really did make me stronger, but it was after the physio. So now I'm getting that strength back. But along the way of being diagnosed, I had an excruciating headache. This is a really big reason why I'm on carnivore. Excruciating headache. And I called the ambulance because literally it was like a knife was going in the side of my head. And they came and got me. They said, are you sure it's not anxiety? Going on and on about anxiety. Get to the hospital. They say there's nothing. So I'm still having this excruciating headache. And so my mom, she said, I think you should pay and get your own MRI of a different place because they didn't do it where they should have. It was only a CAT scan, sorry, and not an MRI. Got my MRI, and lo and behold, I have a tumor, a brain tumor. It's not biopsied. It's not, they're saying that it's inoperable. So I have to control it somehow. And in where I live in Canada, in the Maritimes, there's no doctors. I mean, there's no doctors in Canada as it is, but in the Maritimes, it's even worse. And my doctor, he took me on just for a very short period of time, and he's retired now at, I think he's 80, 87. So he's up there, right? And he was getting his own health issues. So yeah, I'm pretty much on my own. So this carnivore lifestyle has saved me over and over. And the anxiety of thinking that, your body's going to heck in a handbasket. And then that causes, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to cause this thing to explode. So yeah, that's basically what happened. And when I was younger, though, if I think back, I had eczema, I had IBS, and those things are gone. So my eczema, no more. The IBS, gone. I had all these little bumps on my face, gone. There's a lot of things that are a lot better, but I think it's going to take a little bit more time because I've had this. I mean, it's hereditary. So I never ate meat, Dave. That's what went wrong. So when I was getting sick with all this pain after I got my injections, I thought, I'm going to go vegan. One day my husband said, because I love animals, and he said, you do know you're eating a pig right now. And he didn't mean it maliciously. And I looked and I thought, I am eating a pig and I love them. I want to have them as a pet. And lo and behold, I'm eating them. So then I stopped eating meat altogether. And then that's when it really, like, it escalated. I got the injections and then not eating any meat whatsoever. It was like bam, 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 one after another. And the stress. And I think everything combined was a whirlwind of just coming to the forefront. I think it was always just sitting there, dormant. And then all of a sudden, the injection and then no meat, and then bam. But slowly and surely, I'm getting back to health. And thank goodness for the animals. Oh, without them, I wouldn't have my health. I couldn't even get out of bed. I had neck brace at one point. I am on medications, but definitely a lot better than what I was. The mindset. I thought I was dying. I was ready to say, you know what? I just want to go jump off a bridge. I've told the doctor that. And lo and behold, I want to live. And that's because of carnivore. That healthy fat getting in your brain, it brightens a light that I didn't have. I literally was ready to give up. I didn't want to be here anymore. Who wants to live when you think that you have to get rid of a tumor at the same time as you're completely in pain from head to toe? I wanted to give up. So carnivore saved my life. Dr. Barry saved my life. And I think he hears that a lot. But you too, though. You've saved people's lives. Everyone in this community has. Courtney Luna, another one. That cookbook is amazing. I have to share all of my books here. Am I allowed to do that on here?
Sure.
So I have all of the books that you could ever need because we don't have a darn doctor here. Am I even showing it?
Yeah,
We
I
can.
can see some of them. That's it.
Okay, so I have all of those.
Mm.
And this here, I have to say, oh my goodness. And she's going to think I keep just bragging her up, but how can you not? This cookbook. I haven't tried too many because I'm trying to stay away from the pork right now, like aside from bacon. This is going to be a lifesaver for people. Oh my goodness. And I would share the recipes, but don't want to do that. Go buy it, people. It is great. Oh my goodness. She's such a gem. So yeah, all these books and individuals on the carnivore community, like the Lioness lifestyle, I was on there, and everyone is so lovely and it makes it so much easier.
How long has it been that you've been doing carnivore?
Okay, so in 2021 is when so 2022 is when I started in August of 2022. Then in just last year, 2023, I had a jaw surgery. So I have a really bad jaw. That's another joint issue. So I'm having another surgery coming up. But the last surgery I had after that, I was fully carnivore up until that surgery, which was so from August to April. And then I added in ice cream and I didn't get the full benefits. And now I'm starting to feel them again. And I tell you, just that one little food, once in a while, it can screw up all the results. And now I'm starting to feel all the results again. And I will never, like I said to my husband, never touch another piece of sugar. Never. Especially with this cookbook. She has cupcakes in here. It looks like she paid me to do this, but she didn't. Like, seriously, this is amazing. I can't get over it. It's going to save me later on. I can't wait.
Right. So, like, what's the status now of the EDS? Like, you're moving without pain now?
As of right now, I still have pain. It was at like a 8, and now I'm dealing with at a 5. and I'm on medication to make it that 5. So I'm a little nervous to take everything away, and because I don't have a doctor. So and who needs a doctor really when I think about it, but I'm a little nervous. But I'm doing just complete carnivore and hoping that eventually I can gradually, with the pharmacist, remove everything and then see how my body feels without anything. But it's very easy for me to dislocate an arm. Like when I go to sleep at night, I sleep like this, and that I wake up and that is all. Like it's I wake up feeling like seriously an 80-year-old. But with the carnivore, it helps. I've witnessed it and I'm feeling it coming back again. Um, but people think you were crazy to say that. So, but I mean, I only do it for me, and you can only spread your message, and pretty much that's all you can do.
Yeah. And what's the status at the moment with the tumor? Have you had an MRI, a recent MRI?
Yes, so actually, Dave, I had one in 2020. Well, I have to have one every year. And so I did do the carnivore for that period of time. And when I had my MRI, it hadn't grown one bit. So now I have my other MRI coming up this March or April, and I'll see if it has grown or if maybe it shrunk a little bit or stayed the same. And my goal is now to focus on that tumor and get rid of it. I hope I can. If not, um, at least if it stays the same size, then I'm okay. But if not, radiation is required. And I don't know if I want to do that.
Right, right. I mean, the fact you're not taking in sugar is a very positive thing, right?
Yes. And that's what I'm just hoping that if I don't touch any sugar, that nothing can grow. I'm
Mm,
hoping. Oh my, and I mean, it's happened in the fasting.
right.
I don't do that well. So I'm trying. I did see on Nia's Way. She has is it DC Living, I believe. I'm not sure what the handle is for
Uh,
him.
DC Learning to Live. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. So he said that fasting, if you put a little bit of salt on your tongue, it's easier to fast. So I'm going to try that trick because I have a very hard time fasting. I get really weak, and I'm not sure if for individuals that have different makeups why some people can't fast and others can, but I have a really hard time with it. But I think it would be very beneficial for me.
Yeah. So, how have people around you reacted to this? Are they positive that you're taking your health into your own hands, or are they a little bit worried? And
They really haven't said much. Even when I had to get a colonoscopy and endoscopy. And the doctor at that time, she knew that I was on a meat-based diet. And, well, I said meat-based, but I mean carnivore. Uh, I don't want to sit there and have to explain it to her, right? And she said, no, that's good. And I've had no backlash over it really. My family, they actually, it's interesting. I move home and then I was saying, I do a carnivore lifestyle, and they have a relative on like the in-laws, and lo and behold, there's one of my relatives on the carnivore 5 hours away that is living the life like no other. So it hasn't been a problem. All of my friends, they accept me for who I am, and as long as I don't have an issue going, I don't really do too much because of the pain right now, but it wouldn't bother me. I used to go to work with bags of spinach because I was all about health, or I thought I was about health. So, and people will look at me weird then. So, yeah, no, I haven't really received the backlash. And if I do, it's not going to bother me.
right. And yeah, when you talk about going to work with bags of spinach, when you were eating no meat before, when you were vegan, I mean, that must have been exacerbating the like waking up feeling like an 80-year-old. That must have exacerbated that like crazy.
I couldn't even wash my hair, Dave. I was so
Wow.
weak. I'm sure it impacts me more than it would another person due to the connective tissue disorder that I have. But I literally couldn't even like lift my head up I couldn't do it. It was awful, awful. And no one knows what you're feeling. They look at you and say, well, you look healthy, but they don't know what's going on inside until, I mean, they test it. And yeah, it was brutal. And I'm forever grateful for this lifestyle. And I'm also grateful that right down the road is where our farmer is. And like tons of meat. My husband has ordered like 3 freezerfuls. It's we're lucky. We're lucky. Let's just say that. And my dogs are carnivore too.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
what is your daily menu like?
Yes, so our daily menu here, what we eat together, and it would be scrambled eggs or boiled or well, whatever type of eggs. I eat more eggs than my husband, but I want that fat, the yolk. So I do a lot of yolks for my breakfast and usually bacon. My husband will have sausage and bacon, and then we usually do the 2 meals. And like for tonight, we had 2 big steaks, and my dogs had a nice big pork steak. And for their breakfast, they'll have a big ground of ground beef, sorry, a bowl of ground beef. So yeah, if their breakfast is or we'll have ground beef as well, like a power bowl, as Homestead House says there, one of those. So yeah, and I can't believe it keeps you full all day long. And before I'd be hungry, having these little protein bars that I thought were healthy for me instead of eating an animal. I didn't want to eat the animals, and that was where my problem was. And now I'm eating all of them, and I'm saying thank you.
And how are the dogs doing? Like the dogs are loving being carnivore?
Oh, yes. They're getting a little picky now. They want all the steak now, and I'm like, hold up. You can have some, but you can't have all of it. But they're thriving.
It's amazing when you just take the poisons out of people's diets,
I
what
know.
happens, you know?
It's very interesting. And may I ask you a question? Well, I know it's not me asking you, but I have to ask while I'm on here.
Sure.
Do you guys have eat kangaroos? Like kangaroo?
Yeah, I've eaten kangaroo quite a few times. Yeah.
It's interesting. So is it just like it would be here for us for like steak? Pieces of steak?
Yeah, so
Whoa,
I think that where they take the meat from the kangaroo, I don't think they kind of use the whole kangaroo as meat for like steaks. They take it off the like where the tail kind of connects to the body. I think they kind of cut that out.
that's
Um and it's tasty. It tastes like it's for me it tastes a little bit like veal.
okay.
But it's not fatty at all,
Okay, so
right?
then
Because
you
you know how
yeah,
muscly a kangaroo is, right?
yeah.
It's not fatty at all. So if you're gonna eat that as a carnivore, you would have to like be adding a load of butter or something like that onto it. You know, it's
Okay.
like the same with emu or ostrich. You know, that's red meat too. But yeah, no fat in it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Mm, mm. So yeah, but do you have any foods like that that you enjoy that are maybe a little bit away from the standard kind of beef or pork?
No, I wish. Because I did the liver the first time. I did liver all throughout. And this time I said, you know what? I'm not going to push myself to do that unless I'm feeling weak or something, But my husband and I, we take these little capsules that are beef liver. So we do take a capsule. My husband ordered a beef tongue. There was a heart, kidneys, and I couldn't handle having that in my freezer. Oh my goodness gracious. I couldn't do it. I would, I really have to talk myself up to it. But I just kept seeing that tongue. And like I said on the Lioness Live, like, no, I had to get rid of that tongue. It's a big tongue. And it's just sitting there looking at me. And no, 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 no. I went from eating vegetables to meat. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm doing really good with it. But the tongue might be in a couple of years, maybe. Or we'll see how that MRI is. And you know what? If the tongues need it, I'll get it in me. But not right now.
So I can understand your feeling about the you know the kind of weird feeling about seeing the tongue in the freezer the whole time. But if it's prepared for you and you don't have to look at it while it's being done, it actually tastes pretty good.
Oh,
Like
that's
in Japan here, they basically it's like sliced into circles, and you just cook it on cook it on an open grill here, and it tastes really good.
Oh wow. Well,
It's just a little bit chewier than you know normal. normal
Oh, see,
beef.
that's what gets me though, eh? You have to, if you have to chew too much and get through the gristle, but that's what we need.
Mm,
I'll
yeah,
get them.
but it's good taste. But yeah, I can definitely understand the feeling of having a tongue in the freezer. I'm not sure I'd want that.
No, maybe I should have put it in the garage freezer, but it was just looking at me every time. Like I was looking at it, and it was just like, I can't.
Mm, yeah,
But
yeah,
maybe
definitely.
eventually.
Yeah. So those are those 2 meals a day, that's you done. Um, how different does it feel not have to be constantly feeling like, "Oh, wonder what's in the fridge? What am I gonna eat for my next snack?" You, you miss those feelings at all?
No, that's another thing. It takes the stress off of having to figure out what you're going to have for supper. And before, it's very interesting. And I was telling Christy this on the last interview I did there, that every time I would call and say to my husband, "Are you going to put something on?" He would say, "Okay." He would just put on a piece of meat. There would be no vegetables, nothing. And I would get home and I would think, well, where the heck's the rest of the meal? And lo and behold, he just wanted the meat. He didn't want the vegetables. And me, I'm like, you need to eat vegetables. So I was telling Christy that, and she said it's so funny because she used to be the exact same way as my husband. She would just cook the meat. But no, yeah, I find it so easy because you literally know exactly what you're going to eat. You have a few options. And I mean, obviously, you have varieties, but I like doing it simple and just stick to the couple meals that I know to just make sure I'm doing it 100% for the next couple months. And then I'm going to be opening up the carnivore in the kitchen, which there is a lot of strict carnivore meals in there, but I just want to make sure that I don't steer off of anything yet.
This is basically it. There's no going back for you, right?
I can't. No, once I have something in my head now that I know 100% is going to work, no, I can't eat the sugar now. And before I would have. And now I'm really seeing a difference, like a big difference. I can't do it. But no one's going to listen to me. They're all going to think that what the heck's wrong with her? But what can you do?
Right. So, like, for someone watching that is listening to this, only 2 meals a day, and they haven't started carnivore yet, they're doing a regular diet, they'll be thinking, "This is crazy. I can't go 2 minutes without food. How can you go a whole day and only eat 2 meals?" Like, what is it that what makes carnivore different to eating a regular diet?
It's so satiating and nutritious that I wouldn't have believed it either. I would not have believed anything that anyone was saying online. And I kid you not, it completely changes everything. Um, and you look at life differently. And it's like everything changes and you become a human again. And you start to think clearly. You realize that these people are just making you addicted to food. And literally, as soon as you just start eating meat, that goes. You don't even need to have those snacks. Like, until someone experiences it, I don't think they'll believe it because it does seem like, oh my gosh, if I just eat meat, but it works. And it is how we're supposed to live, it's how we're supposed to be. And all of these companies and higher ups, they're misleading us and it's for money, I think. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, so please just delete it if not. But it works. Please try it, please. And especially if you're someone like myself that has no hope and the doctors are telling you you're not going to get better, go watch Ribeye Rach. She's another one that follows. She has Ehlers-Danlos. She says she doesn't anymore because doctors deemed her she's never going to get better. She's pregnant. She is on her way to having a baby and she literally could not move. I was the same. And I'm living proof now and she's having a baby and living a perfect life. I'm not there yet. It takes a while to heal, but please don't give up and try it at least just once, please. It is amazing.
So, I'm trying to imagine your situation before, thinking in terms of there's not many doctors around there, if at all. There's no support for you, right? You've got
No.
you've got these health issues, and normally when we have health issues, we've got the doctor, and it's easy to go to the doctor and see the doctor and feel like, okay, well, someone with a level of knowledge is going to help me control this or be able to prescribe some medication to help me or do something. Um, and you didn't even have that. So you've gone from that to taking control yourself and basically taking your life back. So, I mean, that's super empowering, right?
Goodness, so much confidence. My life, I literally was ready to give up. Who would want to go on? Well, I mean, there are people that want to go on if they're ill. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't one of them. I was hurting from head to toe, excruciating, and no hope in sight because I moved home where there's no healthcare system whatsoever. Um, so the only hope I had was carnivore, and lo and behold, I'm just so grateful it worked. I'm so grateful, and grateful to everyone on YouTube that shares their stories, and Dave that shares everyone's stories. And without that, I don't even know. I don't know where I would be. And I think that more people need to hear this because if you're following the doctors, yes, they can help you if you break your leg. But they could be gone tomorrow, especially in the world we're in right now. So we need to take the power back. We have to take care of our own health and really get in tune with it because at the end of the day, you are the only one that can save you. And I have a good quote here that I have, and I love it. I don't even know where I got it from. Giving up what I want for what I need. And yes, I do want ice cream, but I don't need it, and it's going to hurt me. And that's what causes pain. And that's now Dr. Kilt says ice cream, I know, but I'm not even going to try that yet. But the thing is that we do have to give up things that we're addicted to, whether that there's a lot of things like I'm an addictive personality. So if I start doing something, I'm just going to continue doing it. That's why I told the doctors I want no hard medication because I could get addicted to that like that. I guaranteed. So I try to make the best decisions possible for my own self, and everyone's going to have a different situation, but just stay in tune with yourself and the meat does heal. I don't think there's a human being on this earth that shouldn't be eating meat, but that's my opinion from the research I've done with all these books and Dr. Barry and every lovely channel that I watch. um, yeah, I just put the power back in my own hands, and I have all my documents of everything that's wrong, and lo and behold, and that's another thing. I have a thyroid nodule, two cysts on my thyroid, and a 4 centimeter cyst on my adnexa, which is down where your ovaries are. And no doctor has said that they're taking that out. They haven't said anything. So I'm hoping that the carnivore diet will heal these things because no one's doing anything about it.
Yeah, and so this is a widespread problem in Canada with healthcare, but it's exacerbated where you are because of the lack of people.
Yes, yeah. It's very not a very big population. So it's the Maritimes. It's not busy whatsoever. It's a very quiet area. Um, a lot of greenery, and yeah, so not a lot of healthcare funding, that's for sure. And as I mentioned, the doctor missed on my CAT scan, sent me home and said I didn't have anything in. And the funny thing is, the neurologist looked back at my CAT scan, and the tumor was there. He's seen the tumor, so the radiologist read it wrong. So I had to pay for my own, which thankfully the government did pay me back, or the healthcare system, however they get their money, I don't know. But they did pay me back the money for the MRI that I spent my own money on because of because they missed it. And they also, the lady was saying, like, do you want to, are you going to go to court over? No, I don't. I just want you guys to know you screwed up. Please pay attention to the next person that comes through because you almost missed a brain tumor. And so far I'm still here, but it could have been something worse. And I just worry about people.
Mm.
I want to scream, eat meat, but people are going to look at me like I'm nuts, or I think they will. I don't
Right,
know.
that's the way you start to feel, right? You want to kind of be that person standing in the park on a box screaming at people to do something, right? And it's like
And
everyone's just going to look at you like you're crazy.
yeah, I don't, I don't get it. I don't understand. Well, it's the thing. It's like the Matrix, right? And you get away, and it's like, holy jeez, I want to help, but you can't.
Right. So if you had a friend that was open to trying carnivore. And they said, okay, well, I want to see if I can get rid of some of my health problems. Tell me what to do. What advice would you give them for getting started?
Depending on their personality type, because if it's someone that is all in and then is gonna, I know them well enough that they're gonna go full force and then quit, I would say gradually change out things, add more meat in. As I have a friend that doesn't eat much meat, I keep telling her add the meat in, and then slowly eliminate things. If they have a personality that is best suited for them to eliminate instead of just go hardcore, depending on the personality type. Myself, I kind of like just going hardcore. Um, head first in. But depending on what friend it was, but for the most part, I think just rip the band-aid off and get it done, and that would be my recommendation. But I hear a lot of people say to baby steps in. So I think it depends on the personality type. But whatever way you do it, just do it because it will help. I want to scream it to people, but yeah,
Yeah. Just yeah, even if you are taking baby steps, just as you say, just doing it will have massive improvements. If the first thing you do is get seed oils out of your diet, for example, that just that is gonna improve your life so much. So, Lisa Marie, is there a way that people can reach out to you? Do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
well, I do have a YouTube channel set up, but I'm not putting anything on it as of yet because I'm a little hesitant with all the backlash you get. And right now I'm trying to heal, so I don't want that extra added stress. And not that it would really stress me out too bad, but I want people to learn that this is good, and I don't have the energy right now to put into educating anyone. Or if they're gonna, I've seen some YouTube channels that they go really hard on the people, and I think that's just downright wrong. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, but just don't leave those comments because these people are healing themselves. They are healing, helping others. Like I don't have time for that. But once I get the energy to deal with my own health 100%, because this is quite a struggle to heal from, I definitely am going to be spreading that message, and I'll be strong in doing so on my YouTube channel, which is like I do have it up. I just don't have any videos there yet.
Right.
But yes, that, or they could email me anytime. I have that on my website, my goodness, my YouTube channel. I do have my email address.
No worries. Well, I'll include links below. Um, Thank you so much for coming on today, Lisa Marie, and sharing your story. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me, Dave. It was great to be on your channel, and thank you for all the videos you put out. You saved so many people, along with Dr. Barry and the rest of the people that have spread this message. It's amazing, and thank you for taking those hate comments because I can't.